but you've been honest with me, and I owe the same honesty to you. And the truth is, my relationship with some of the other women in the house has progressed further along than ours has up until this point. And I can't give you this rose tonight.
Thank you for your feedback.
Hey, Shannon.
Hello again.
Hey again.
So, yeah. So, for everybody who is listening to us, this is the second time we've now recorded this episode because Mercury retrograde hates us, and we are Mercury ruled people, and that just means Mercury retrograde fucks with us more than most people every time. And so yeah, here we are with for some reason my audio didn't load on the platform we were using last night. So we get to talk again about The Bachelor.
And of course, like, of all the episodes that we have to talk about again, it is the most boring episode. The one we had the least to say about anyway. So it's like just technically
Honestly,
a formality that we're even doing this.
Yeah, like both of us are not we're like, okay, like it couldn't have been a different one, whatever. Maybe we'll find some new light in it.
Maybe third time's the charm.
Maybe I will reinterpret my same notes in a new way.
Well, let's fucking find out.
We will have a revelation, but yeah, we can talk about we'll talk about I'm trying to think. We talked about some Bachelor Nation news, which what was it? It was I don't even remember. I don't even remember what it was. It was yesterday night. That is
Rachel.
I have ADHD. Oh my god, yeah, the sorority party. And we both talked about how we were not surprised that she had ever been to that and to have been to one of those parties. Those parties are racist as fuck. Those parties are not unusual. Those are not a one-off thing. It is common. So yeah.
I'm waiting for my camera to focus.
Oh yeah, I know. I was like, why did you go? Like, hello.
I just like jiggle for a little bit. It eventually picks me up.
That's so funny. Yeah, but anyway, so these parties are racist as shit, these Old South parties. And she had photos surface where she went to one in 2018, which was not that long ago. And it's just one of those, it's just more evidence up against Rachel for being good old racist Rachel, MAGA Rachel.
I just can't wait for them to sweep it under the rug at the Women Tell All or the final after the final. She's at.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be
to not address it.
That is definitely gonna be the like the sweep under the rug. Meanwhile, I bet you money they will bring up Victoria's body shaming. Maybe that could be.
I feel like
at the Women Tell All, because without Matt there, I mean Matt would show up later, but they wouldn't talk about it. Maybe. But I just feel like they would bring up other things.
I like the way that they're gonna spin Rachel's deal. Like they're either gonna treat it like Garrett or they're not gonna talk about it at all, depending on the position she ends up in after.
Yeah, and Garrett, MAGA Garrett. Wait, are we talking about Garrett Bologna?
Yeah,
Garrett?
That Garrett. No.
Yeah, okay. That not the other MAGA Garrett.
Because he's the only one that they really ever discuss those like.
Yeah.
Other than the guy from Rachel Lindsay's season.
I think it's because he was so fucking vocal and he was so vocally an asshole and so vocally Trump supporter that they just like it was an easy out almost. With Rachel, she's not. I mean, like we see the receipts. Like we know she probably she's has not voted. That is another fun. Oh man, but anyway, Rachel, waiting on that statement. We got a bingo card ready. We could turn it into a drinking game.
I think we're gonna do both.
I think it could be either. Just do whatever you'd like, because
I feel like
it's definitely gonna be a lot of white tears, a lot of a lot of I'm learning and growing, a lot of like I didn't understand the weight of my actions when I went to that party, that kind of thing.
If you knew my heart, you would know that I would never, ever be
My
racist.
heart.
If you know my
My
heart.
heart.
Mm.
My heart will go on. Yeah,
I
whatever.
should-
She's yeah. Oh, and another thing we talked about that I do want to talk about again to put back on
Yes.
this second recording is that we had a comment on the Instagram under Rachel's image of like her chart that I posted. And on each little Instagram tile, I have little blurbs that I typed up just kind of as a general summation of the chart, just as what I'm seeing. And someone kind of like made a joke or comment that was like, me, Sagittarius, like everyone's joking. But somebody mentioned that they were like, oh, fairness for all, as in something, quoting me, referring to Rachel. Fairness for all, isn't she a raging racist? And I replied to them and I was just like, I wrote these before anything came out about most of the women, and especially Rachel. Rachel was an earlier chart that I remember writing out. Like,
Yeah.
I just, yeah, like I wrote most of that stuff before anything came out. And the other thing though is that your zodiac chart does not make you racist, make you any of the racist, sexist, homophobic, any of the isms, phobia, like all that. So like that is not, your chart doesn't make you a Democrat or Republican even. Like that does not line up like that. That is nature versus nurture. Like that is how you grew up. That is how you have established your own beliefs. That is nothing related to your sign. So there was no point in me, even if I did know the tea prior to writing it, there would have been no point in me being like, oh yeah, by the way, she's a massive racist. Like, because then it would, because unfortunately, like on Instagram, especially like the Instagram astrology kind of world, people are kind of surface. It's not bad. Like I love a lot of Instagram astrology content, but like I understand that Instagram has such a huge audience of people, so they're not going to sit there like if I mentioned something about like, oh yeah, Rachel is racist because she's a Libra, like that would, people would
I feel
not,
like
you can't say shit like that. I can't make those correlations.
right.
And
Like I feel like
those
you don't need
correlations
to
don't
like
exist.
defend that. Like her chart I
Yeah,
mean,
I know.
it's so funny like saying this because like listeners, as we stated, we already recorded this episode. So like to us, like we've had this exact conversation
Yeah.
before, but like I've said it then, I've said it before this conversation even took place, but like Shannon and I both wholeheartedly agree that like your chart is the foundation. It's not like it's not like down to the bullet point. Like you are who you are, and if
Yeah.
you want to be a dick, like
And yeah.
you're just yeah. So
Yeah.
man.
And so so no, her chart does not mean that she's a racist, vice versa. And also Libras with Pisces placements are very interested in fairness for all. In Rachel's case, it just might be fairness for all white people.
Yeah. Like
So,
if your
like,
perspective sucks, so your perspective is going to suck. It's just like
right.
how it and how you convey your own suckiness is what your chart says. Like if you're shitty, you're shitty.
Exactly.
But it's just like how
Yeah.
how your shittiness is perceived. Like that's so just don't be a dick, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Just be a good person.
And yeah, and if I roast Rachel in relation to her views, and I do make jokes about her placements, it's likely because of the way that like certain placements handle these things. Like a Libra getting called out for racism is going to have her army of friends attacking any commenter who thinks that they're wrong, and also playing victim, crying about it because she's Pisces moon. Like that is how she would respond to this accusation. Meanwhile, you call someone else from the show, anybody else's chart would react differently. So Rachel, if I'm making a joke about it, it's because Libras have so many friends, and they, like, Libra women too are such the like true epitome, iconic, like mean girl like stereotype. And it's funny because like most of the time Libras get swept under the rug as being like nice, or they make themselves appear that way, but are actually like some of the meanest people, which is funny because I think we mentioned this on the last time we tried to record this, but someone, Katie, maybe, I think it was Katie, who said on Bachelor Happy Hour that Rachel was like one of the most conniving people in the house. They just weren't showing it, and she's just like not making it
Well, yeah, how could they show it?
obvious.
Why would they show it? They wouldn't want to make her look bad.
Exactly. Yeah, so that doesn't surprise me at all because, you know, Libras are really good at like coming off one way but being totally a different way behind closed doors. Anyway, well, let's talk about the episode.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because let's get through this again since we're redoing this. Anyway, whatever. I do feel like, you know, I guess it's fun to have like thought about these things more as it goes through, and I know that I can what's important and what to skip. But anyway, we open this episode and it is the cold open style situation they've been showing us, and it is Hannah. Oh my god, I keep almost calling her Hannah every time. I wrote her. I literally wrote in my notes, cold open is Hannah driving in. But then I remember having to correct it in my notes later because I kept saying Hannah and I was like, no, Heather.
Heather.
She's friends with Hannah.
Heather.
Even though, could you imagine if it was Hannah coming in for them? That'd be hilarious. Anyway, so Heather rolls in and Chris is. Yeah.
That wouldn't shock me.
I honestly expect like everybody at Paradise. Hannah, Peter, Kelly. Well, Peter and Kelly might be like dating again. Oh, that was the news. That's news that has happened since yesterday. Is they were apparently are reportedly working on their relationship.
Good for them.
Good job, guys.
I hope you stay together this time. And I hope you are very happy. I hope you have no regrets.
But also, Kelly, girl, do better. He cheated on you. Like, come on, or supposedly.
No, listen. If she was away and then actively went to a super spreader event to get back with her shitty ex-boyfriend, okay. If that's what you want. Oh my
god, I remember the dumb article that came out and was like, Kelly responds to like, what if it was she were Bachelorette? Bitch, what?
Who asked
what
for
world?
You? Who asked?
What would you be Bachelorette?
like no,
it's like a fever dream.
Sure, like a little bit of shade, but like kind of no
ridiculous?
shade. If you want Kelly to be the Bachelorette, like feel free to DM us and show yourselves because I
Lisa doesn't get it either.
Curious, I don't understand. I would actually love to have like a. I know, cause the problem is that my delivery, I just sound sarcastic and like such an asshole all the time. But truly, I would love to have dialogue with someone who actively would like to see Kelly be the Bachelorette. I just want to talk about why, like, because maybe you're seeing something that I don't see.
Yeah,
and I would love to hear your perspective.
Yep,
I don't get it.
But anyway, back to then we start with a 2-on-1, which is the fake 2-on-1, the pre-cocktail.
I was gonna say that's very generous to call that a 2-on-1.
Yeah. It is.
There was no
MJ is Katie describes MJ as the last of the mean girl tribe. And I could see, because of this kind of association, I could see MJ being a Pisces rising, and we did talk about this at length last night. But there was a post that was all of Anna. It was Anna, Victoria, and MJ's headshots lined up. And my friend sent it to me and was like, OMG, what if they all are water risings? Because we know Victoria is a Scorpio rising. So that's one of the 3 water signs. We were already making guesses that Anna would be a Cancer rising due to her silence on Instagram, which she broke last night. And then I was really thinking about it and how MJ could easily fit into being a Pisces rising. I think she's such a mutable person to watch her and Jasenia already calls her out for being a different person in front of the cameras, in front of Matt, in front of the women. Right. And so it's just like, I could see her just being like, yeah, I show myself whoever, I show people whatever they need to see of me. That's just very Pisces. Anyway, so I could see them, all 3 of those water risings being the mean girls. Yeah, especially because it's like a fire, earth, and an air sign with water risings. Yeah, big mean girl energy.
Oh my God.
just dramatic, literally. For no reason, drama.
Dramatic and delusional.
Yeah, but
Little bit of everything.
anyway, we have MJ picks right back up where MJ is yelling at Jasenia. It's just fucking chaotic and dumb. And thank goodness Matt takes Jasenia first, because this got her the rose, in my opinion. Like, this is why, like, she was able to sit down and get out in front of MJ's shit, being like, she says she leads by example, but she doesn't. And I love it. She says MJ lied to your face the other night, acting like she didn't know there was any toxicity when she was on the forefront.
I have a thought.
And yeah, what's your thought?
I'm going to derail us for a second. We're going to make a note of where we're at, because I'm going to derail us for a second. But I want to pick your brain.
Okay.
I think, now that you've said, because you made the point about, like, good thing that Jasenia got there first, you know, what if it wouldn't have actually mattered? Because sorry, I'm like, this is all like spinning in my brain as I'm trying to talk about it, because I'm thinking about our game. And I'm thinking about Matt's moon and rising sign. And we've been talking about how, like, Scorpio moon is pretty much out, because, like, he clearly does not have, like, the don't know how to say this nicely, so I'm not going to try it.
Yeah. The depth. He does not have the depth. He does not have the
to really, like, decipher this emotion shit. You know what I mean?
He
like,
swims
he's not
too much in the shallow end.
Right. So what if, though? What if? And maybe this is a moon sign, maybe this is a rising sign thing. But what if it wouldn't have actually mattered? And what if he would have been able to, like, read MJ's aggressive defensive energy, but he wouldn't have known, like, how to break it down, but he could, like, sense. Do you know what I mean? Like,
maybe.
Do you know what I'm trying to say, though? Like, he's in tune enough to, like, get the vibes, but he doesn't know what to do with the vibes once he's picked up on them, or, like, what they mean, because he's just not, like, in touch with his intuition as deeply as he should be.
Maybe, but what I kind of think, possibly, because he
seems to be like, he knows the right things, but he doesn't know the right things.
Well, so part of me is thinking that the producers pretty much decided this 2-on-1, not Matt, because I think that it's pretty clear that if Matt was going to decide just based on who he likes better, he would have picked MJ.
You think?
Yeah, 100%. The way he said, so yeah, we'll just fuck it, skip ahead, who cares? The way he said to MJ, he goes, our connection was undeniable from the start. He was very much like saying, like, I am very into you. And I have been very into you this whole time. And then he turns to Jasenia as, like, you said you want a rock, and I also want a rock. It's just like, it wasn't really much more.
But what if the MJ praise was the producers and everything else was Matt?
You're giving him so much credit.
I know. I know.
No, I
think this is the aftermath of the charcuterie board post, because now that I'm seeing him as, like, funny and like him actually having some kind of sense of, like, he knows what the fuck is going on. He's like a big dummy with lifeless eyes, but, like, not actually, because there's clearly the gears are spinning back there.
I don't know. I think in the Bachelor zone, I think in this,
they're going.
I think maybe they are now. I think he's honing his fame,
like, after the fact,
better. But, like, in show, what we're seeing right now, he was, like, such, like, okay.
Shannon, I just had a thought. I'm fully vaccinated now, and a side effect of the vaccination is going to be Matt James sympathy. I'll make a note. We've got 14 hours since injection, and
literally you're gonna be fully, like, simping him in 2 days, like, and by next week you're gonna be like in love. He's gonna post charcuterie board number 5, and you're gonna be like, I have to recreate this at work.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, charcuterie, and you're gonna be like, hold on.
No, you're gonna start calling it charcuterie.
Oh my
That
God.
will be your
If I
level of
ever
stan.
blink once if you're being held against your will.
Yeah, literally.
Don't ever let me. But
No,
anyway,
so
okay. Sorry, I just had the thought because when
no,
you
but
mentioned,
so what was I
Go
gonna?
ahead.
I was gonna say something great, but ADHD, it's gone.
I'm sorry.
Matt, no, it's not your fault. It is literally my brain. So Matt was no, I saw. Wait, my thought. Okay, this is down a different rabbit hole. So my thought is that they have picked Matt to be the first Black Bachelor because they knew with Matt especially, being so white adjacent to like Tyler, his parent, his mother, and like Raleigh, California, North Carolina, wherever the fuck he lives. He would be an easy person to control. Also, that is exactly the way you underestimate a Sagittarius. It's funny because all of my exes, the common thread of them, except maybe one of them, the only one I'm still friends with, but like all my shitty exes, like most of the men I've dated, their common thread is that they thought and tried to find a way to control me and to like put me a Sagittarius. This is not that anybody who's trying to date a Sagittarius, this is the 101 of do not do it. Do not try to literally control what they're doing, and do not be like, oh, why are you out with your friends right now? Shouldn't you be this? Like, don't try to do any of
You
that shit
must
because
trust. You
yeah,
must trust.
you have
You
to
don't
be
trust, get out.
yeah, exactly, because I pretty much guarantee you for the most part, not Matt, not Matt, but most Sagittariuses are not like cheating on you, are not talking around, are not doing those things, but they will if you try to fucking control them. So that being said, I think what they did with Matt is they were like, oh, we're gonna have a bachelor who's never been on the show before, who is going to need guidance, more guidance than a typical bachelor. And we are going to manipulate that, and we're going to make him do what we want. And so what I think is Matt would have kept MJ, probably. But the producers were like, look, and hey, I would have loved to give Matt the benefit of the doubt as to seeing through MJ's bullshit. I just don't think that, like, of the accusations, MJ's was not nearly that bad. It was like her main thing was the whole varsity JV shit. And yeah, she did lie to Matt saying she wasn't involved in anything, which is a fucking rookie move. Like, you fucking idiot. Just own up to it. Because if she would have owned up to it right then, be like, yeah, I did
You
talk
can't
along
say
with it.
nothing. Like
Yeah, right.
101.
You can't just be like, no, I didn't do a single thing. I never thought a single mean thought. No, bitch. Like, just say, like, yeah, like it's all you gotta do, especially sag to sag, MJ to MJ. You like
Also, just
both
like
the
as a
MJs to each other.
PSA, even if you don't remember saying something, you probably did. So just say that you said something. Like it'll be
Yeah.
fine. But
And then you
don't let
can
them set you up.
apologize. You can say things like, but I realize now, like after seeing the women being so hurt, like I've totally put an end to it. La, 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 la. And Jasenia brought it up. And the reason I'm so angry at her now is because we talked it out. We squashed it. And now it's brought up. Like she was almost
Yeah.
like she could have gotten it. She could have done it. She could have. But she fucks it up and Matt sends her home. But what I thought Jasenia though nailed it in the fact that she was very much like, I stand with what you stand for, Matt. And he's like, yes, validate me. And MJ's more of just like, I'm not a shitty person. My character's problem question. I have to mention though, her peak fire sign Aries moon moment of this whole exchange was when she is in her interview before talking to Matt and she is physically hyping herself up. She's like, all right, gotta fluff my hair. I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me. I forgot who I am for a second. I am
I had
on
a
it.
weak
It's like
bitch moment.
yeah.
My God.
I had a weak bitch moment, but I'm back.
It's
And
so
it's
weird
like,
because like I support that and I love people doing
too.
that. I think that everyone should do that. Like do it to yourself in the mirror, like say it to yourself in the morning when you're getting ready. Like when you do
Yes.
your makeup in the morning, throw on some like really good hard-hitting Queen songs. Like We Will Rock You is always a good choice, like very spiritual.
Somebody to Love
but
is a great one.
so
I just love belting
fuck
it.
yeah, like hype yourself up, and I'm all for that. But there's something about seeing it happen on camera that just made me go like, oh, like,
Well, it's
ooh.
because she's like,
Something about it was so off to
because the
me.
way it's portrayed, the way it was portrayed was her being like,
Yeah.
all right, hyping myself up to go defend myself and lie some more to Matt. Like, it was just
Right. Like I should have enjoyed it, and I
bad
didn't,
position to do that.
because it was just a shitty
Yeah,
situation.
like the person that could have said that exact line, what MJ said, and it would have been sold in this entire episode, was Katie. Like if Katie,
Yeah.
after the Serena C moment, after their argument, said exactly what MJ did, ooh, I had a weak bitch moment, but I'm back. I
It
would
would
be
come
like,
off so differently.
woo,
Yeah.
like that. It's like
You're
the
right.
same exact line, but it's the wrong context, MJ. Especially after last episode when MJ was like, oh, you want to see me fight? Get your popcorn. Like she's just ready. Like that Aries moon is like always ready to go. Maybe,
My God.
man, maybe she's the Cancer rising and Anna is the Pisces rising. But I couldn't see Anna being a Pisces rising.
I don't know.
But
it was hard
because
to
Cancer
watch.
rising, if she's ruled by her moon, either way, she's ruled by something that maybe she's ruled by Mars. And it's answering to her moon. At this point, I'm convinced half of these women are Scorpio risings just because of the Leo midheaven attitude situation. But anyway, so yeah, MJ leaves, is sad, has some fake fucking tears in the car, tries to get her moment in the sun to hopefully get it going. Oh, and another moment was Bachelor in Paradise. There it is. I was like, where did that go? My mind was gone. I was making a joke to Olivia prior to recording the second one with you that on Monday, I like become a different person in the evening. Like it's like I go to work in the morning and I'm cooking. And I'm thinking about The Bachelor airing that night. And I'm thinking about like, oh yeah, what am I gonna maybe make memes out of? How are we gonna do this? I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Gotta catch up on the stories and gotta get on the Instagram and catch up on stuff before the episode starts. And as that process starts, the day just like I just descend further and further. And then by the time the episode starts,
everywhere.
yeah, I'm in the pit, right? I'm in the pit, and then I'm peeking out of the pit watching the episode. And I'm like, yes, give it to me. And like my eyes above. And then as soon as the episode is under, I like let go and I'm just like free fall. Like, and until like 2 a.m., I am fucking Bachelor wired. Like, inject me with Bachelor shit. And so now, as I recall and talk again about the episode, I don't feel it. I'm not as far into the pit right now. I'm not as far down. And
You've had
so
time. You've been up on the surface for too long. You're reacclimated.
Exactly.
Already.
I'm having to descend again. And anyway, yeah. Oh my God, we didn't even talk about Ari being just saying he was disrespectful. Thinking the men.
Ari's a piece of shit. Next.
Piece of shit, literally. Yeah, I'm
That's
trying
it.
to get my brain into the pit again. Ari, piece of shit. Ashley Iconetti and Jade Roper. Doing Super Bowl parties with their babies, spreading COVID. Just
It's gonna keep me up at night tonight.
Okay,
Thinking about how many like fewer cases of COVID there would have been had it not been for Bachelor Nation people.
Dude, Bachelor Nation is literally like Bachelor. I mean, honestly, it's Bachelor and NFL Nation, which are one. They are together. Because between those two, like, yeah, we could have been done with COVID by now, but Bachelor people had to travel. Football had to happen, I guess.
It all comes down to the Bachelor.
Yeah,
Damn.
everything does. Everything.
Everything comes back to.
I mean, it is the most, honest representation of our culture.
Yeah, and how fucking scary is that?
It is scary.
That is the most terrifying thing that I've heard all day.
But it's extremely accurate.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
One of my favorite Jasenia moments, though, that I had to talk about as I was scrolling through my rest of my notes is her petty ass moment when she calls Meredith, and I love it because so Jasenia is a Capricorn, is a Scorpio sun, so already always with receipts, but she's a Capricorn moon, and she has a Cancer Mars. So that's a moon opposition to Mars. Just she has the exact same thing that Victoria has, but wait. No, Victoria has moon conjunct Mars, both in Cancer and Cancer, whereas where Jasenia has the Capricorn Mars opposite Cancer, or Capricorn Sun. God, Capricorn moon opposite Cancer Mars. There we go. Anyway, so that being said, hello, the petty has arrived. Like, because Mars in Cancer is literally like, will play nice with you. Like Jasenia, honestly, like watching her Mars in Cancer this whole time, because Jasenia was always someone in the background being like, hey guys, like what if we just like didn't, like she was always or saying something to kind of like calm things down, trying to offer a perspective. Early on, she was one of the earliest Victoria people that went against Victoria, and she was just like she was like, I'm emotionally mature enough to be happy for somebody on a group day, and Victoria's like, fuck you, no I'm not. And so Jasenia, that's like Cancer Mars, but now it's like she is directly involved in it. She's in this. So her Cancer Mars is like, roll sleeve up, let's fucking go. Like I'm done.
If I have to be here, we're gonna do it right.
Right, we're gonna fucking go. I'm gonna call you a liar. I'm gonna call you a weak ass bitch. I'm gonna call you fake. I'm gonna fuck it. She brought out everything. I'm gonna call you your real name. Call me by your real name. And anyway, I have a friend who has a Capricorn moon opposite Cancer Mars, just like Jasenia, and she would do that. Like she would absolutely use the real name if she could. Like that.
I loved it.
Not even a doubt at all. It was a great moment. Go Jasenia. I'm glad you got the rose. That's what's up. Anyway, because of all that bullshit, Matt cancels the cocktail party and all the women are pissed. And he says he's emotionally exhausted. And this is when Serena decides to be a dumb bitch and start an argument with Katie, saying that, oh, we would have had time tonight if the cocktail party wasn't canceled because you brought up the bullying, Katie. And Katie's like, bitch, what? It was truly the most convoluted trail to blame Katie.
I have to know where this came from. This came so out of left field. I had no, because
I mean, it was literally being like, Serena obviously is someone who was bullying everybody. Like she was being a brood for the most part.
You would think based on what we saw this episode, but then I thought about it when you said earlier how Katie said that MJ was the last of the mean girls. And if Serena was a mean girl, then MJ wouldn't have been the last.
Yeah,
of the
but Serena was the more ITM, the interview mean girl. So Serena, and also she was one of those. Okay, she was like the peanut gallery mean girls.
Yeah,
there
were
like girls
shady,
who would be like, ha 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 ha. Yeah, like they would laugh along with it, but they would never stop it. Then there was Katie, who would be, you'd say something, or Jasenia or Abigail, who were like, I don't know, I'm just like, but
I get what you're saying.
But Serena C definitely was involved in it, and also she was always the one in her interviews. Like, remember, she was the one who was like, "There's a lot of kiss assery going on," which true, but also like,
yeah,
like you need to be apologetic, because Serena was saying dumb shit throughout this whole thing. She's just been
she was a little
more low key.
She wasn't confrontational,
and right, exactly. She wasn't starting fights, but that's just as bad. Again, she's being, she thinks she's what is it? The Karen in Mean Girls. She's just the one who's there, who's not actually like probably that mean, but it was just well, actually, no, I think Serena C is kind of just a bitch. But anyway, whatever. She was being just, but yeah, she like decided to be like, well, so because she's been stewing at Katie this whole time, because she didn't like that. She didn't want any of this brought up either, because she knows that she was saying stupid shit. She didn't want to get the bullying called out happen, because she wanted to be still like say, because she's been blaming Katie for it the whole time. Problem is now the cocktail party was canceled because of MJ and Jasenia, not because of Katie. And MJ and Jasenia were there because of because of Jasenia, not because it's like, again, the biggest person, just Serena C, you should be blaming the producers, and you're falling into their fucking trap. Okay? This is not, they are wanting you all to fucking not talk to him. Okay? So Ryan is fucking crying, and then she and Michelle scream outside like
Scream
heathens.
from the pit.
Literally a scream from the pit.
Everyone go listen to Game of Roses.
Honestly. So we have the rose ceremony, and Jasenia from Just Then Rachel and Abigail and Kit all have date roses. And so the rose ceremony rolls on, and it is Serena P, it's Michelle, then Piper, then Bree, then Chelsea, then Katie, and then Serena C getting the last rose because we gotta keep a villain. And Maggie, Ryan, and Brittany go home. And justice for Brittany. Justice for all these women, but like justice for Brittany. Because
Justice for Brittany.
What the fuck? Like, I swear, if she doesn't get on Paradise and meet the love of her life, I will be so pissed, because why we really brought this girl on to make her the butt of a rumor that is, for the most part, what we still know of is to be false, as she said on the show. Anna got sent home for it. And they couldn't even give Brittany a fucking road. Like
an extra week to compensate.
Why give us anything that had nothing to do with her fucking rumor storyline? Like, I don't need,
she was like,
could have edited.
And like, that's really shitty to do to a person who has to live their life, and they could have after the fact.
And they could have edited that shit out. That did not need to be in. Like, we could have just sent Anna home. Yep.
But
and
no,
I understand that it's hard to edit. And I understand it's hard to edit that shit out when when you have a whole filming of Anna having to talk to Matt and have all the, because she couldn't get sent home at the rose ceremony. And then what is she talking to Matt about? What's the rumor? It's like,
I guess, but if they can edit out 5 relationships that have apparently led to people falling in love, then they can edit out conversations about Brittany.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I get what you're saying. I know you're not like defending it, but like, it's just like, Jesus sucks.
Like, I guess I get it, dude. I get it, but we could have not given it so much time. And or again, you could have just given Brittany a fucking rose for one more week. I get it. She's not gonna make it. I get she's not winning for Matt's heart. But like,
if I can edit our 4.5 hour episodes down to 2 hours, they can edit out that rumor about Brittany.
Miso agrees.
Miso's like, that's right.
But anyway, so justice for Brittany, and also justice for Maggie. She was so cute though when she left. She was like,
if she wants to be an influencer, I'll buy whatever the fuck. Whoever
I'm ready to follow Maggie forever.
I'll support her. Everyone donate to her charity. We'll put the link in the description of this bio. For this episode, because she's the tits.
She's awesome. Anyway, so now after the rose ceremony, we have the date announced for Piper. And then right after Piper leaves, Katie is what the fucking Serena C and Katie have to have their talk. And Serena C calls Katie calculated and annoying. And she is trying to talk shit about Katie by calling her someone who is outspoken, truly running her mouth over things she wants to say and whatever weird. Like, she doesn't have a real critique. Like, she's just mad at Katie.
You can tell that this fight is based in fucking nothing. She just wants to be upset.
And she gets
like
fucking
faking being upset or whatever it is.
And she gets fucking served when she goes to talk to Katie, because she's just like, I am frustrated that my time's being taken away because of your antics, is what she says. Serena C says to Katie, and Katie's like, I'm sorry, what, bitch? She goes, you do not know what Matt. She's like, first of all, she's surprised. She's like, I thought you were gonna come apologize to me. And Serena C's like, what? Why? And she's, but. So Katie is like, the fact that you're sitting here and talking to me about this is pathetic. You do not know what Matt and I are talking about. And you were being very insecure last night with your whole bullshit. She didn't say that, but she was being insecure about not getting a rose, not having time, blah, blah, blah. And Katie's like, you don't know me.
That has
You don't know
nothing
me.
to do with me.
That's my purse. You don't know me. And so then Serena's tea is like, you're lighting all the fires everywhere. You're tattling, you're calling, you're starting all this drama. And Katie is getting furious. Like she rolls out the gate with this, like, I'm done. She is over it. The earth signs in her chart have given way to that Sagittarius Mercury. They're like, please, we are tired of waiting. Have at it. That Sag Mercury was like, I'ma go. Let's go. So
And telling this joke for now the third time, she's had a one-on-one date with every single person on this property except for Matt at this point.
At this point.
Everyone has pulled her aside to have some
Yep.
quality time except for the man of her dreams.
Honestly. And
fed up.
It's
done.
Literally. But she's just like, I didn't drop any names to Matt. And then at one point, Serena sees like, nah, 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 and Katie just goes, let me talk. And I was like, love it. And Katie is just going over and over about like, I didn't tell Matt shit. I didn't mention names. Serena sees like, doesn't matter. You brought it up. That means you don't want, like, she's giving the worst for the wrong reasons defense ever here, because she's trying to say, well, you went and talked to him about it. So like, obviously you're not here for him. And I'm like, I went to talk to him about it. Katie's like, I went to fucking talk to him because I am here for him. And this shit is getting in the way. The bullshit in the house. So whatever.
Case in point, as we talk about this right now.
Yeah. Katie is just like, in her interview, she's just making herself look stupid, and I cannot reason with crazy. And at one point, she just is like, thank you for your feedback. And she like does the like hand bow. Thank you for your feedback. Goodbye. And stands up and walks out like smiling. And it's funny because I think she's smiling because I think she can like, that she like is like, I won that shit.
She knew that was a TV moment too. She was
Yep.
like, this will make air.
Oh my God. Yeah. I actually feel like it must be so good being on that show and saying something and just being like in the back of your mind, like, I know this will be on TV. Like, if there were a good way to have included that into a preview, I would have. Thank you for your feedback.
I got it.
Oh my God. Katie's exit though, or not exit, her exit from Serena C. I mean, it's just this whole thing. Katie's just getting the Bachelorette edit, which is funny because she is potentially spoiled as the next Bachelorette. But that doesn't surprise me, at least the way it got spoiled before this episode, because she did end up leaving on her one-on-one date. So it's like, well, it is good timing, right? And anyway, they'll probably reveal her at like the Women Tell All or something.
That's the rumor, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, Serena T goes back to talk shit with the girls, and she's trying to be like, the way she came in hella hot with all her sex positivity, like that's her shtick. And I'm just like, girl, do you not want somebody who's like sex positive around you? Like, what the fuck is that kind of critique? Why? Like, all right, but that was a mess. So after that is when they show us the Heather intro, and this man is trying to pretend like he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, sorry, ma'am, this is closed property. And she's like, yeah, but can I like talk to Chris?
I
They
wish
couldn't
I
even
knew
give
how
Heather
prepared,
a fake mask to wear in that moment.
but I wonder like how prepared she was for him to say no. You know what I mean? Like, I would bet a producer was like, okay, like just go up and like ask for Chris.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, cool. So then they send her up, and the guy's like, oh, well, you can't come in. And she's like,
what?
They told me to ask for Chris.
Like, was told to.
I was only told to ask for Chris.
I don't know. I'm supposed to be here though. Like, you see, I'm not wearing a mask. Like,
it like hurts my soul. I get such bad secondhand.
It was just
every
poorly
second that I saw
planned.
Heather
Like,
on
if you're
this-
gonna have her come in, at least give her a mask, dress her in an outfit that was more like I wasn't ready to walk on the show. Like, give me something like a more believable moment.
Oh my
Like, at
gosh.
least with the mask, because that is
Imagine all
the
poor people that really thought The Bachelor was real up until this point.
Oh my God. Yeah.
How shaken do you think they must be to their cores?
But it's not scripted either, so it's not fake, but it's not real. That is Bachelor is such a fucking wild world. All right, but anyway, that's
Usually
all
what-
that shit. Piper's one-on-one was super boring. However, oh my god, now it's funny because we've had a day of memes. I saw somebody mention Tayshia's carnival with Brendan, which was like a fucking
The
party
disrespect.
city. It was party city basically.
The fucking
And then this
disrespect to
carnival
Tayshia.
was a full-blown like lights up, bitch. Oh my god. Like
that bullshit cardboard taxi they got, and Matt is driving around. Matt got taken to an auto gallery. Like,
Yep.
please.
It's the correlations, the budget is dismal. It's obvious.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
So they have their carnival date. It's cute. Piper and him are competitive with the game.
I like it a lot. I like
yeah,
them. I
it was
think they're cute.
fine. Yeah, they're cute. And then they end up having to dance later to a white people country music, which I'm just like,
I already
really
forgot
gave
what the
the
name
black
is.
people that Temecula Road. But during that date, the night portion of the date is when, in our other episode, when we were talking about it, is when I said that this exact date with Piper, the night portion, was the moment that I decided that Matt James could not be a Scorpio moon, because Piper is a Scorpio moon and she's talking about her family and families in our charts, especially mothers and fathers, but like, well, mothers and fathers, but like our parents are really reflected based in our moon sign and generally our emotional upbringing. And that's why we have the emotional capacity that a person does, is because of our moon signs and our parents, right? That's how they correlate. Anyway, so that being said, she's on this one-on-one. She's talking all about like, my parents weren't super vocal with their affection. We weren't always saying I love you to each other. We were, she was like, this is actually super emo to watch, but she got teared up, choked up when she was like, sometimes I just wish my mom would call me and just say that I'm like, just say that she's proud of me. And it's like, and it's funny because it's like, so when players play their PTC, their personal tragedy card, usually it's like something very intense and yes, relatable, but Piper's like this PTC moment, because I'm counting it as a PTC, right? Like my parents.
I would say so.
Yeah. It was very relatable. Like I'm sitting there thinking about, yeah, I do also wish that. Like I wish I also had like just heartwarming conversations with my family. That'd be fun. Like, or my mother really. But anyway, so it's just like things like that where I'm like, I get that, girl. Instead of the whole like, my dad has ALS and I have moved home to take care of him. Like that's not, that is a true PTC and that is a very heavy one. It's a very big deal, but less people in the country have that experience. So watching something like this with Piper, it's just like, wow, like she's on the show and she's just saying like, my parents aren't affectionate and I'm a words of affirmation person. I need that. And he's validating her and it's really nice. And I was just into it. But that being said, he cannot relate.
Well, it was like what I found interesting about it, because in the same vein as what you're talking about, it was interesting to me because regardless of like what her sympathy card was, like regardless of like what her story was and where she came from and all that kind of stuff, it was her delivery that spoke to me more than anything, because it almost seemed like when you're like kind of upset and then someone says, "Are you okay?" and then all of a sudden you just like can't fucking stop and it just like starts coming out. That's what I
for me,
saw
it's the hug.
Piper. Yeah, like I saw like she started to share and like she started opening up and then she like kind of
Was
lost
getting
like I
choked
think
up.
she blacked out. Like I don't think that she remembers what she said until she saw it last night.
Yeah. And that is also a very Scorpio moon thing, trying to like open up that door. And also it's like once you open that emotional door, a lot will come out, a lot of deep stuff. And that's because Scorpio moons want to hold it all in and they don't want to
And
share.
then like the fact that Matt wasn't like mirroring her response at all, like the fact that Matt was sitting there and had such a different reaction.
He was like, whoa, crazy, man.
Yeah, I think like
wow.
we both kind of, I think different things triggered it, of like the same, as per usual, like standing on the same spot, but like looking slightly different directions. But I think we both had the same thought at the same moment as like, yeah, he's definitely not
A Scorpio moon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like,
and
once again, how can I say this nicely?
yeah, well,
Not a
he's not a
Scorpio
Scorpio
moon.
moon. He just doesn't have. He really just doesn't have the layers. Like he doesn't have the emotional layers.
Yes.
And it's
He's
not to say
not an
that
onion.
and it's not to say yes. And Piper for sure seems like an onion. And she has a Leo sun square her Scorpio moon because they're both
Yeah.
of those fixed signs. And those two squaring sun and moon are very representative of our identity, like the most integral of our identity, sun and moon, right? Those planets. And those come from our parents. And so it's like she's having these parents that don't give her what she needs. And so as a Leo, she now the Leo, right? The who we stereotype Leo as like me, give me attention, give me attention. But it's because of this, like it's exactly what we just saw on TV. Because Leos, it's like, oh, Leos get stereotyped as the egotistical people who are fucking like, I just put me in the spotlight, I want to be the center of attention. But it's usually a response to the fact that they didn't get to be the center of attention when they were younger, or that's like all these things they were told they weren't allowed to shine. And Piper seems like that. And anyway, I stand Piper. So, but
Same.
Matt not being a Scorpio moon, it's very clear because so just for others, if you're not, on the same wavelength as us, he was not, like Jess said, he did not mirror Piper as much as he mirrored both Bree and Michelle, because both Bree and Michelle are Sagittarius moons. Bree, especially, is just like him, has a fuckload of Sagittarius in her chart, including the moon. So, meanwhile, their first date together, they basically have the exact same background. Like, they came from single mothers because their fathers left them. They had, I can't think of, there were the more details about it all, but it was like all this
Always
stuff that
radiating
Matt,
to friend or gravitating towards
yes,
friends with large
oh,
families
friends with
and
big
being,
families,
yeah.
yeah, shit like that, and the religion and whatever, all that stuff. And so they're all able to, like, basically, like we said, Matt was looking in a mirror and he loved it. His Libra Venus loved it for sure. But I think that again, he would have been a little more like, oh, I totally see what you mean, blah, 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 Piper,
Yeah.
if there was that emotional understanding, and there wasn't. And it's not to say it's a bad thing that Matt can't get it. Like, it's just the way that when you talk to somebody with the same moon sign as you, even if you don't know. And that is just the feeling. And he said it with Michelle, how he said he just felt so comfortable with Michelle. Oh, you just get me. We just get each other. We just flow so well. That synergy, man.
Yep.
So yeah, anyway, Matt. But between that one-on-one was when the date card was announced for the group date, which shows that Katie is going to get the one-on-one.
Yes.
And then they also show Heather quarantining in her bedroom and now being a fucking weirdo. Yeah, and it's a bummer because they're making the Heather thing into a joke, and it's
Yeah,
funny because
she
I think
really
it
is.
almost, and the way they treated it, to make it a joke the whole time and then to have her walk in and try to cause drama with the women, I just wasn't buying it, because I'm like, you just were poking fun at this, and now she's walking in
They
to
set her up to
talk, like,
fail.
yeah,
She could not
exactly. It
have
was
won it. No matter what the outcome was, she could not have won in this situation.
exactly. But and then oh yeah, and I forgot that after Piper's date, they have her doing more dumb shit in her hotel room, balancing pizza on her head and stuff. But yeah, it's just a bummer. So
She's poised. I will give her that. Good posture.
yeah, she's a Libra. Got to be balanced. Okay, so now group date bowling.
Yeah.
It's cute and fun, and they have to compete for each other. They have to compete against each other to go see Matt later, and they're all pissed, of course. And
it's super annoying because it's the same format as every other group date, except all of a sudden now it's a problem.
Yep, because but it's because of the time cops. They're all freaking out that they don't have time with him. Don't have no time.
I just
But it is
the producers have to be doing
petals.
something. They've got to be like really keeping him like away
Yeah.
from these women. This is too much talk of time.
Yep. It's getting annoying at this point because I'm like, just talk to him.
Very fishy. Send some
Fishy.
shenanigans around here.
We're sniffing you out, producers. Well, Abigail sets herself up to fail immediately by saying that she was on the losing team twice and she will not be on the losing team this time. And instead, they make it look like she is the one who makes her team lose
Of
because
course.
that is what the producers do. You are not. I would just
You
not
can't give them the
speak to the
in.
producers.
Yeah. Just don't
Ever.
think.
Yeah. I would just never say anything. I would just be like, yeah, it was fun. But then I would never get screen time. So, God, the struggle. Anyway, so they all compete and it's dumb. I actually, oh my God, whenever the blue team loses, Kit at one point is like looking at Matt and pleading, and she goes, "What do you want in a wife? A bowler?" And I just, that was so funny to me because like they're trying their best to just be like, just
Maybe.
let us come, just let us come.
The person that
And
I spend the rest of my life with has to actively enjoy playing Monopoly, or else it will never work. So like
wow,
maybe Matt does want a fucking bowler. What
I
about
think
it?
they had a bowling alley at Nemacolin.
I know.
Anyway, that's another rabbit hole. So Rachel says the moment where I'm like, bitch, really? When she was like, I'm so tired of playing these stupid games. And I'm like, girl, you are playing a game. It is called The Bachelor.
It's like, good morning.
Don't you pay attention?
Thank you for joining us.
Hello. So anyway, but don't worry because they get to go on the night portion of the date. Doesn't matter. Chris ends up dropping off a card to the losers, and all the girls are like, and that's like as they're crying to the other women, they're crying to Katie and who's the other one from the one-on-one? Katie and Piper, they're crying and they're like, and then we don't get to go see him and we're so tired. And then they get the card and they're like, all those tears for nothing.
Truly though.
Yeah. But also
Truly.
like, come on, like I kind of realized I figured they were gonna take them back, but because all the women on the date, the only thing they were showing of them was wow, it's gonna be normal now, it's gonna be a normal date. No, it's not.
Well, yeah, and we also saw that it's very clear that all of Matt's favorites just happened to be on the losing team, and there was no way he was going to go the rest of the night without seeing his favorite people.
Yep, exactly. The white girls.
It's how it be.
But anyway, Chelsea seemed to be the most bothered by all this because she's like the most concerned with having not talked to Matt. But then when she does talk to Matt, she doesn't say anything. Like she's just like, sorry, I have my walls up. I hope you can be patient. Wrong game to play at this point, girl. You cannot make the lead be patient anymore. Why?
I feel like have they not shown her saying something along those lines every time we've seen her talking to Matt?
Except for the hair conversation. It's just like, what are we
No, but
doing?
she even prefaced that date by saying, like, I told Matt that I was awkward around boys because that's when Matt grabbed her, remember?
Oh, no, but that was a date that she said, yeah, that was not the hair date. That was a different date.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought that he took her away.
No, because that was when she went to tell him, like, I like you. I'm awkward. Yeah, same. Like, that was that date. Different. That was last episode. Anyway, but she's upset. And so she doesn't say anything to Matt. And then is talking about how Matt always reassures me and makes me feel special. Like I'm the only one and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, he's a Sagittarius.
I'd also love to see that. I would love for them to show that footage.
I mean, yeah. Well, and that's what I think that's what they try to do when they show him being like, what can I do to make you feel better? And it's like he's like trying to prop up the women instead of just like liking the ones that he likes. It's
I actually
like,
forgot that he said that.
Yep.
I completely forgot about that whole part of him. Okay, never mind. I take back what I said.
Yeah, he's just is not. Charcuterie is getting to you. The charcuterie standing. But yeah, God, I'm just tired of the like. I don't know. I'm tired of watching what I feel like is again back to producers leading Matt through this instead of Matt taking his own like charge, because you can kind of tell. And yeah, the canceling the cocktail party, big air quotes there, is like, yeah, Matt taking, but no, it's not like that. This is about the halfway point where they always cancel a cocktail party because they always want to show Matt is getting real. The lead is getting real and they know what they want to do. And I'm like, oh,
well,
okay.
it's like I'm trying to find the proper comparison, but it's like you give a prisoner like a little taste of freedom, like to make him think that he has some kind of autonomy, but you're like we'll give you like a little bit that way you think you're in control, but we're pulling all the strings.
I really think Matt back to I think they cast him because he was going to be an impressionable person, and they were they were afraid to have a they were most likely afraid to have a black lead like Mike Johnson or even like Rachel Lindsay, because at the time Rachel Lindsay was less outspoken like on the show, but now is like super very politically active and forward. So it's just like I feel like they were making sure like having someone like Matt on, a fresh face, was going to, again, like I said earlier, be able to control
and also
him.
just like someone who has no knowledge, so he has no idea what to expect from either end, so like
which is why he ends up talking to Tyler C about what to do when they have their fucking bro time, and then Tyler's like, yeah, it worked, worked out well for me. You saw it. Well, or he says it worked out well for Tyler. And I was like,
I was gonna say, I will never get over the fact that he's like, I saw this process work for Tyler.
You saw it work in the fact that he got famous afterward and dated Gigi Hadid.
Right? Like what? Like, I don't know if you remember, but they're not Matt. They're not together.
Tyler didn't even get to go on Paradise.
Silly boy.
How did this work for him other than making him the most followed male Bachelor contestant ever?
For the wrong reasons, Matt. What's up? What's up?
What? Just be right. Just be smarter, Matt, about what you say, please.
Don't be sorry.
But he won't be, because he's a Sagittarius Mercury, and Sagittarius men just don't think about those things.
Sweet lovable dummies.
Yeah. Anyway, he ends up giving the group date rose to Michelle. Also, I forgot to mention Serena
Fully
P.
support that.
Serena P says to Matt again that she's falling for him, and I'm like, girl, you already said that on your last date. Like, it's time for you to say I'm falling, like I'm in love with you. Like, you already fucked it up. You fucked your love level game up, and now you're faltering on this. Like,
I've come to the realization that I have some kind of bias against that like fake coy flirty bullshit. Like, I don't enjoy. It's like when the same type of shtick when like girls act dumb.
Yeah, because she's like looking at him and she's
something about that
almost
I have
baby
no
talking to him,
that.
and she's like, yeah, I just think I'm falling for you. I got this note,
and that's what's so crazy. I'm like, I love Serena P. Like, I'm down for Serena P. I like her a lot. And then I saw that moment and I'm like, oh, girl, no.
Yeah, like, come on.
But I just wasn't a fan of that particular. I just don't like that.
Yeah. Yep. But anyway, Heather, we're back on Heather, who's pretending to be saying that she's Rapunzel and is going crazy in her quarantine. So I'm Rapunzel.
That poor girl left to her own devices with that stupid selfie video thing. Oh my God.
That was embarrassing. It just sucks. Like, again,
I'm too proud. I could never. I care far too much about what people think of me. I could never.
Yeah. Oof. But anyway, so Katie's date starts, and it first starts with bro time with Matt and Tyler, which is where I mentioned that they talked about Tyler saying that he is for him, but what I do really remember from this conversation was when Matt talked about Katie as the girl with the cactus-sized vibrator. Cactus isn't the first thought I would have thought of, but I think it's because men are stupid and they don't know that the type of vibrator that she had is the one that has a little rabbit ear on it, right? So it's like the vibrator, and then there's a little extended part. So my thought is he thinks it just looks like a cactus because it had an arm.
Silly boy.
I don't think he thought about it being a cactus going in a vagina. It was just a very stressful image. Cactus sized. Also, it wasn't cactus sized. It was like a normal sized.
It was pretty average.
Yeah, it was like a generally sized.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Very average.
Mood. And Tyler's like laughs, but he also says that, you know, his relationship with Hannah was a slow burn. So maybe Katie's is going to be like fireworks tonight or some shit like that. And
Hold on,
it's just
did
like,
you notice?
okay.
Did you see after the episode aired? So listeners, we're recording this Tuesday evening, but last night after this aired, Tyler Cameron posted on his story like for more advice or like for more advice, like the advice I gave Matt, make sure you pre-order a copy of my book. Because for anyone who doesn't know, if you've been living under a Bachelor Nation rock, Tyler Cameron's writing a book called You Deserve Better. And it apparently teaches women what they need in relationships coming from this quote unquote he's a self-proclaimed feminist. I don't know.
I hate it.
I don't know anyone who would actually
No, it's
consider
fucking
him to be a
stupid. And I
feminist.
hate that he promoted his book. I hate that he was on Good Morning America this morning. I hate
Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't watch.
Yeah, they gave us in
Gross.
the commercial for him was that he was going to be on Good Morning America. It's fucking
Don't
stupid.
like that.
Yeah, I hate it. But this is when Tyler's like, just be you, man. That's why we all love you. And I'm just like, kiss.
Now Kia.
At this point I am genuinely like ready for this to be the first season where bachelor chooses his best friend. I also a Sagittarius and an Aquarius man. I could totally see being in a polyamorous relationship with the same woman. That's heinous.
I'd support it.
We should. Wow, I want to do a synastry with Matt and Tyler. I'm gonna do that. I'm probably gonna post it on the story. But
love it. Here for it.
It'd be fucking so silly. So anyway, Katie and Matt then proceed to prank Tyler, who's getting a massage from an actor who can have an earpiece in. And they basically have this woman assault Tyler by rubbing his nipples and pinching them and trying to like, Katie even is like, yeah, let's break his bones. And I'm like, damn girl, oh my God. But it was just very fucking awkward and I was not happy with it. And of course, Katie doesn't get a good massage or anything. Like he tries to fuck with her. He's like, "We're at the spa because I thought we should be here together." And she's like, "Yay!" And
she got so excited.
Yeah, and it's like, no, actually, we're just gonna watch my best friend
get a
massage, and then you're gonna watch me lay my body on top of his naked body when I pretend to massage him. Katie, isn't that turning you on?
It was too much of a setup. Like the fact that the masseuse pretended to not know, one, who Tyler Cameron was, and then two, pretended to not know that Matt was the Bachelor.
She knew
or that
who Tyler Cameron was. Remember, right, because the fake phone call happened. She's like, "You'll never guess who I'm here."
But she was like, "So why are you here?" As if she
looking. Like, why would you be at Nima Colon if you didn't know the Bachelor was happening?
Right. Like Nima Colon sent all of their staff home except for this one masseuse who happens to have no idea what's going on the grounds. Like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just reporting for work.
It was just far too fake. It's getting worse and worse as the episodes go by. The level of like staging that they're doing on this show. It's crazy.
And again, I just needed them to make out when Matt went and touched Tyler's body.
And I bet that's also why we got no really good like reaction shots of Tyler, because there weren't any. Like I bet every single one of his reactions was, I can't imagine Tyler being a good actor. I'm not going to lie to you. No. So I bet that like all of his reactions looked really shitty. So they were like, we can't show any of this. We can't show any of these because people, if they don't know it's fake,
or he caught on earlier and they just couldn't, they made it seem like it was dragging on longer.
Well, that's what I mean. Like he would have had to, because there's no way he believed that masseuse was being paid to sit there and wait for no one.
Absurd. Yeah, and it was just uncomfortable. And like I said, I'm ready for them to get married. Tyler Cameron means Aquarius. Aquarius people love to be queer.
Actually, and that would make a whole lot of sense. Like if it was completely staged, or if he did find out almost immediately, like knew what was going on, that would make the lack of consent and like inappropriate touching like a little, I don't want to say acceptable because it's not, but like it looked,
but like
they made it look a certain way, right? And like maybe it wasn't how it looked on TV and they were trying to like maintain this, I don't fucking know, but like nothing was real about that.
Yeah.
Not
And
a
it was
single
just
fucking
and it's just a bummer because it's like it's really clear to me that they gave this date to Katie because I think they want to again make her the bachelorette. But like and also they couldn't let any of these other girls see Tyler Cameron without a shirt on. Um
She was the one that Matt was like, I don't care if she falls for Tyler. It's okay. We're
yeah,
just friends.
literally, yeah. But also the producers were like, let's put her into like meeting Tyler Cameron first. It's like we're inserting her into Bachelor Nation sooner than the rest of them. You know what I mean? Like you could meet the outliers earlier.
Maybe.
But either way, it's just like, yeah, clearly like this is the friend zone where I'm gonna hang out with my friend. I'm gonna see my best friend. I don't give a fuck about Katie. Like
Yeah.
it was trash. I didn't like that Katie got this person, but it's like I didn't. Katie seemed to have fun. She said she had fun on the date, so it's like not a problem. And it was a Sagittarius Mercury free for all date, basically, because literally that is a Sagittarius Mercury's dream is to be able to just fucking prank people together. That's like all they, because it's just because Sagittarius is a fucking clowns.
Like just like everything that this show does, like good in theory, fucking terrible in execution.
Exactly. Good in theory. A pranking date like that, because it's kind of like the what is it like the Impractical Jokers. It's like that a vibe. You should have done. I know you love them, but it's just like you could have done something a little more along those lines, and it didn't have to be a weird massage moment. Like it just didn't. That just didn't make sense. Like
Yeah.
you could have put Tyler Cameron doing something else.
It could have been like
you
the
could have
worst smelling lotion. She could have been like doing improper takes. Like this, she could have taken a phone call. Like there was a million things that
Yeah, the
could have
phone call
happened.
was funny.
Yeah,
because
and
especially
it could
because
have been
they
more
did have
shit like
Tyler's
that.
interaction of him like looking up, being like,
Like, is she for real? Yeah, that type of shit is better than like twisting his nipples. Because honest to God, like if I had a massage and maybe I'm a weak bitch, don't know,
well,
but
we're
like if I was
women,
getting a
so
massage and someone was like getting even close, I would be like, and I would wait until it was like undeniably
just like
inappropriate to say anything.
well, it's just one of those moments where I was thinking about this, watching this happen, and I was like, this could literally never happen if there was a woman on the table. Like if this were roles were reversed and it
No.
was the Bachelorette and her best friend and her like absolutely
No,
not.
never.
So we
Never,
shouldn't
never.
be allowing this to happen to the men
Or
either.
like
Like
it,
full
the
objectification.
prank would happen, but like they wouldn't have said
Yeah, like you can
twist
rub
her
him as a
nipples.
literal masseuse, like whatever, but like, yeah, funny smelling lotion, let the sprinklers go off in the room, let
Yeah, like there's
some
a
shit
million
like
things that could have
that. Come
happened.
on. Because at least the Impractical Jokers don't go fucking sexually assaulting people. I mean, maybe.
They've said
I
some
don't
questionable things.
Yeah, I mean, they are like annoying white men, so. But anyway, Katie's nighttime portion was super fucking boring because she didn't say much of anything. She had no real PTC. She was just like, this was fun.
And Matt fucking tortured her with that. I will never get over this. I'm gonna die on this hill. I'm upset about it. I'm implementing that there should be a fucking rule that it's like basketball. Like once you pick the ball up, like you can't move and you can't double dribble.
Yeah.
Like once you pick that rose up, you have to give it to them. If you don't want to hand out the rose, do not fucking touch it. Do not pick it up from the table. Don't like edge her with the rose. Fucked up.
Yep. Completely agree. Because then he has to put it back down and it's so awkward. And Katie just walks and put it down and she just says, K. I felt bad.
I wouldn't, because if you pick it up, I assume I'm getting it. And it's like the really weird, like, I love you, I love you, I love you. But like fucking Ben Higgins, when he's like letting go of JoJo, like that's what that
God. Fucking knife in the heart. After he had said he loved her.
But you get what I'm saying. Like, don't touch the rose. Don't pick it up. For what?
Don't you fucking dare. Don't say, yeah, exactly. Well, Katie says she's upset and that she doesn't regret being herself. And then she says the perfect Bachelorette lead-in line that will definitely be in her promo, which is, I know what I deserve, and I deserve a man who knows what I have to offer. I am who I am, and there's someone out there who wants that.
Yeah.
Like mic drop, bitch.
That was a really good imitation of that sound effect. I do it very poorly. That was very good.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed,
I love,
actually.
I love
that was very
I
good.
love that fucking dumbass sound effect.
No, me too. And every time I try to do it, I sound so fucking foolish because I can't make it sound right. That was very good. Thank you.
Thank you. But yeah, so let's hope that she is actually the Bachelorette. I mean, like, because the thing is reality Steve has been wrong about stuff. So, and Katie herself on her story was like, she was like waking up to a million texts. Well, news to me. Like, I think she's also, even if she's playing coy because she has to, because of contract stuff, whatever, or she could just literally be like, actually, I didn't know this. Like, because this has happened. I mean, it's kind of happened where people are like talking about who's going to be the next Bachelor, and they're like, what? I didn't know yet. Like,
I wonder if, because there's been a lot of debate about why they gave Sarah's exit so much airtime if she's not going to be coming back.
I know, I'm waiting on it, right?
So a lot of people are wondering, and I thought she was. I was like pretty
Same,
confident
both
that
of
she'd be
us.
coming back even before all of the business came out about her, like maybe having a boyfriend and whatever.
Oh yeah, G-Eazy.
Really quick, not even G-Eazy, but first of all, G-Eazy. People keep talking about the picture of G-Eazy and Anna. Guys, that's a fucking fan picture. Like, that is not anything. Like, stop trying to connect two women to G-Eazy. Like, Sarah was taking a photo of, like, by paparazzi. Like, Anna took a picture at a bar. Different.
At the bar she worked at, most likely.
Right. Like, so different. But Anna, what if they were giving Sarah that much airtime on her exit because they hadn't yet, but were intending to ask her to be the Bachelorette, and they were trying to give her like a good jumping off point, but then all that business came out about fucking DJ Bijou, and they were like, well, we can't ask you now because you're literally in a relationship.
Connection, yeah.
You are posting pictures kissing on a fucking boat. Like, you are clearly in a relationship. We can't ask you anymore.
Yep.
And
no, it makes
Katie
sense.
Might have been like the backup.
Well, what's hard is that I think backup is like a hard term when it comes to the Bachelor, right? Because it's it's a pool. Plans. Yeah, it was like it's a pool.
Exactly.
Like they probably, at least of this season, because especially because the pool for the Bachelorette this year is so much fucking wider because of Peter's. Well, I guess because of Peter's season, like not really. I guess we finished out that with
like
Taylor,
those women
Tayshia.
Exist, but
I guess they just didn't get to do their paradise time. That's when we're gonna have super paradise. But so I could see the pool for Bachelorette being like Hannah Ann, and then meanwhile, from this season, it was definitely like Katie, Abigail, Rachel, even I'm trying to think of like another one of the women of color, probably. I could see Piper. They're trying to maybe like give her that little cutesy fun vibe. I'm just like trying to think of all the women. I was down
for fucking Kristen. Kristen was one of my favorites.
Oh, Kristen was so cute. Yeah, God.
I'd be down for a Kristen Bachelorette.
Yeah, but they gotta like make it longer,
especially because oh my God, she's fucking funny too, because she tweeted last night. She was like, if Heather Martin can just pull up in a minivan, like I should have just pulled up and been like, surprise, shawty.
Honestly, yeah.
Kristen's funny as fuck. I like Kristen a lot.
Well, anyway, speaking of Heather, at the night portion, or not night portion, it was the cocktail party. It was like the beginning of the cocktail party, and before, or I guess no, the cocktail party had started. It was a weird edit because they didn't fully be like, yay, cheers, cocktail party. Like they didn't start the cocktail party. We were just in it. And I was like, what the fuck?
Timeline? They're doing timelines very, very strange this season.
And Heather, they give Heather her last fool's edit of fumbling with the fucking revolving door. Like, what, you had to make her walk through the revolving door? We couldn't have walked through a side door?
Straight up, I would have left.
I was just been like, fuck. Like, I just... over it.
I'm a quitter. I would have been like,
at that point she was like, I took all these fucking tests. She probably had she probably had a single COVID test.
It's like how they tell you to walk
into PCR test.
It's like how they tell you to like walk into important meetings with like your right foot first or something, and like you always walk in on like the proper foot. Like if I was making a grand entrance dressed up like that to an already established like cocktail party for a rose ceremony, and hit that door like that, I'd be like, I cannot start this way. I will try again tomorrow.
Yep.
I'll quarantine for another week, but I'm not walking in right now.
I got another day to come.
I can't do this. Bad energy to start out with. Not a fan.
Mm.
Ow, my arm
Oh my
hurts.
God, did Nick Viall just fully announce his girlfriend officially?
I think he did last week, no? Didn't that happen already?
It's
Ow, oh my God. I can't look.
no, he posted this TikTok and it's just like with a applause look. And the caption is, ladies and gentlemen, her heart.
I mean, cute enough, I guess.
Yeah, so she's like 24 and he's almost 40.
I
Whatever.
have a lot of fucking feelings about that, but this is not the time or place.
Yeah, literally. Everyone. Yeah, it seems like yeah, this definitely is her. Okay. For those of us in the pit, we all knew he was dating her, but this definitely is the like official announcement because the comments are like, "Oh my God, yes, finally, yay, oh yay," and it's just like, okay. She has nice tits though. You know, she looks like Vanessa Grimaldi.
I feel like
He has such a type.
Someone
Vanessa, she looks like a combination of Vanessa and Jen from Bachelor in Paradise, the woman he almost proposed to.
Yeah.
Just like a long-haired brunette with pointed feature, like
Conventionally attractive brunette.
yeah, a strong brow.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh God. Anyway, derailed.
Well.
Yeah, Heather walks in, pretends to be coy, is not coy. Walks into Matt and is like, "Can I steal you for a second?" And he like laughs hysterically. He's like, "Heather?" And it was very weird.
If
And
that
Piper
revolving door wasn't her first sign to turn around and go home,
Yep.
Matt
The
fucking
laughing.
belly laughing like that should have absolutely been her next sign. Like, get out while you still can.
Oh, sorry, just
Okay.
on the story. Keep knocking
Just for like her
mic.
own good. This place is like the fucking Overlook Hotel. We got some shining shit happening. Heather, just save yourself. Turn around. Go home. You're not safe here.
Anyway, 24.
What?
Sorry, 24. I'm thinking she's 24 or 23. I'm trying to remember her age.
I have no idea.
You're like,
I know she's like I know she's young, but
no, she's like, yeah.
With all these like Scott Disick and whoever he's dating now, like all these older guys getting with younger women, it confused. I don't know. There's a piece of the puzzle that I must be missing because I don't know what the fuck these people have in common. I don't understand it. But yeah, so Heather walks in and interrupts Matt's conversation with Piper, and Piper gets like crazy fucking angry.
She walks right the fuck out of that and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like and also like, girl, you have a rose. You have a rose. You had a one-on-one date. You're safe.
She's like, "I'm really looking forward to this time. I really wanted this time." And I'm like, okay, like it's not like you didn't get any. Like, you are literally safe and you have nothing to worry about this rose ceremony. Like, you're going to be fine. And that's it. Like, I get being annoyed because they've had their fair share of interruptions, like new women coming in, so much drama, like they're fucking fed up. And I get that. But I don't understand why she was so upset given the circumstances and given her safety.
One-on-one rose. You have it. You have the date rose. Just fucking relax.
Like, you will be sleeping soundly tonight. So what's your deal?
Yep. Well, anyway, then we get our cliffhanger, and the preview next week shows everybody's getting really fucking unhinged, and it looks like Jasenia might get a one-on-one date, which is interesting, and most likely is going to be her axe date. And Serena P in outro asks Matt to do karate, and it's like, "Please don't kick me in the face." He's like, "I promise I won't kick you in the face."
And this is so interesting.
Don't listen to him, Piper. He flung Brie off of a fucking four-wheeler.
That was my exact thought. And we actually didn't talk about this yesterday.
We didn't.
That was my exact thought, that it was in my fucking notes, that I was like, he's sitting there saying he's not going to hurt her, but like, he also told told Brie to trust him, and then he tipped an ATV. So I wouldn't trust him with those lanky legs. Plus, he was a football player, not a karate master. I don't trust
no. Every single
That's not his
time
wheelhouse.
Matt says a new thing about himself from being young, like I was in chess club, I had a turtle, I was in karate, I did all this. It's like it screams Sagittarius to me because it's literally like I've been there. I was in taekwondo, I was in ballet, I played bass guitar for a summer, I was in a band, I
Do
just
you know how
fucking
often
did everything. So yeah, wow. So yeah, I mean, we had our moon and rising guest last week or last night, not last week, last night. But
Yes.
I will reiterate in that again, I am sold on him being a
She's
Sagittarius
speaking for the
moon.
both of us.
Yes, we are sold on Sagittarius moon, and I'm also pretty sold on Libra rising at this point because I think that Venus on the ascendant has to be it, and he's just so impressionable. Like he is trying to do the right thing. He's trying to make everything even, just safe space. So that's where I'm at. That's where I am at. And also, women have been very key in his life, like his mother and all that shit. And I think Venus on the ascendant does literally say that. Like, women have influenced your life.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Same page.
good shits. Well, let's hope this audio and this stuff works. I'm looking at you,
will.
Mercury retrograde. It will work.
It will.
Knock on.
It will. It will. It will.
Yeah. So yeah, I should have worn my Mercury shirt next week. Mercury will
As an
still be in
homage.
retrograde. Mercury will still be in retrograde next week. I'm not worried.
Well, I am worried because it will be,
I know, right. But it's
Um,
okay. Your
but
Mercury
Colby-
retrograde for you is probably not fun because of your Leo sun. All the Aquarius stuff is
depressed
opposing
all
it.
the time.
Dude, COVID is. Ugh, I'm so excited that you said fully vaccinated. Yeah, I'm excited that
I
you're
have my
fully
second shot this
vaccinated.
week.
Oh yeah, your second shot. How's your arm feeling?
I don't know if you saw me struggling to like put my dry erase marker back up. I was like, I can lift it. Like I have mobility in my arm, but like I can't lift it higher than this point without pain. And I have felt like shit all day.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I
too.
felt very
Second dose
dizzy
is-
and
yeah.
I felt like, you know, that starry-eyed moment right before you're about to pass out if you're like dehydrated or something.
Damn.
Imagine like that, but
No.
without the satisfaction of passing out. Like it's just like that.
All right.
Feeling all the time.
Noted. I'll tell Olivia.
It's so fun. Yeah, I laid down the whole day just because like even going like getting up to walk to the bathroom, I was like, I feel like I'm gonna fall down.
That's like what. Yeah, it's funny how people's like vaccine symptoms are happening, but better than having actual
My
COVID.
first one, I was fine. My first one, I just felt like I got punched in the arm and I had no other symptoms.
Like a normal vaccine always, like fucking flu shot always hurts.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, team, follow us on Instagram. Do the Rose of the Line. I'm going to make memes now.
Yes.
And probably tomorrow too, because I have the day off and I will just sit on my couch and make
I'll
memes.
be gathering material for you as soon as
I love whenever I love getting all of those texts and looking up and
no, you don't.
all the women.
I send like 300 at a time. Don't
I have your thread from
muted.
Your email muted, so no problem.
Because it's the worst. I
know,
send so many at a time.
I love them.
I have to make sure I get because I mean, listen, a second of time, one single frame can make all the difference. So I need to make sure that I have options.
Yeah, and I need a lot of anyway. But I think I need MJ's hair moment too. I need that a whole where she's like poofing her hair. I want that too because I want to make a joke about Aries moon. But all right, well, anyway, follow our Instagram, Do the Rest of the Line. I'm funny on there sometimes. I post on the stories usually throughout the week sporadically, but heavily on Mondays and usually heavily on Tuesdays as well. It's fun times.
Yes.
I love it. It is it's like every time I'm like on my own personal Instagram and I'm kind of like done and bored, I'll be like, go here. And then I'm just like in Bachelor zone. Like,
yep.
Yeah. Love it.
I'm a lurker. I lurk on the Instagram, but that's Shannon's baby. So reach out, message her.
Please talk to me.
We love
and
to talk
also,
to
and if you do talk to me, if you do say something and you're like, haha, at Jess, I will literally just be like, Jess, look at this.
Sure, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. But yeah, love y'all. Follow me, Astrology Chef Jess at
And
Jessica
watch us on YouTube.
Yay!
Subscribe, sign up for notifications, rate, review the podcast, all the things. Give us the feedback. We want it.
Yeah. Love it. Well, Jess, it's been fun. Second time. It's a charm.
Second time's the charm.
Zoom is the charm on this one instead of Zencaster. Love you, mean it. I'll see ya. See you on the other side.
See you next week.
See you in the bottom of the pit next week.